Hi, my name is David, and I'm going to walk you through how I solved the CSWP practice problem 12.5. Now this time I feel like the answer key's volume is quite off. I've done this problem a few times and keep coming up with an answer that's about 3% higher than the answer key's volume. With that said, if you got closer to the answer key's volume, please let me know how you did it. Okay, so this one takes some time to process at the beginning. It's a little bit tricky. And there's a hint that says to build the handle first, and I think the reason for this is so that you can add draft to the handle's curved faces. If you build everything together, then these faces here and here are merged, and so it would try to draft everything. So let's build the handle first in the front plane. And all I'm going to do is create a rectangle with height 35 and width 155 divided by 2. And we'll take that and revolve it to get a cylinder. Okay, or you could have just actually drawn a big circle and then extruded it up. So we're doing this because we can see that there is a curved face from the handle, so we can't just take like a rectangle and extrude it, do a mid-plane extrusion. We have to do a rotation because of this curved face here. So we're just creating the basic thing. We're going to shave off these two parts so that we just have this middle handle part. And then we'll start focusing on cutting off this part here, and then also doing the draft, the 8-degree draft on the curved faces. Okay, so to cut, we'll work in the right plane. And I'll just grab a rectangle, take this point here, and go down to here. Make sure this is collinear. Actually, another thing we could do, I suppose, is grab this point and then lock it on, which is not locking. So we're going to grab this and make it collinear to the bottom. And we're going to make a center line so that we can dimension the middle part that we're not going to cut away to 55. And then also so that we can mirror this rectangle. So when we cut through both, then we're going to cut both sides. Okay, great. And then we can work in the front plane to shave off the little triangles. Again, we'll make a center line. And then over here, grab this point, make a triangle. The angle, is 23. And then this side is, what was it, 16. Okay, so that defines the triangle. We can then mirror this. And then cut away, so we've got those sides, those parts shaved off. All right, so now we can apply the draft to, let's see, we've got an 8-degree draft pulling away from the top plane, and we're going to draft this curved face and this curved face, so that way we can see in the front view, we can see now these are angling in a little bit instead of being vertical. So they're angling in by 8 degrees. And there's also another draft in this view that you want to be careful to get, this 3-degree draft that's leaning these two faces inwards. So we'll again do another draft. This time it's going to be 3 degrees from the top plane. And we're going to grab this face and this face to draft. So now you can see these two faces are leaning in like this, 3 degrees. Okay, so we're looking pretty good. And so the last thing we're going to do is add the fillet. It looks like there's an R3 typical fillet. So that's going to go up and along here and on the other side as well. And one of the things it mentions is to do all fillets after the drafts, which is what we're doing. Okay, so fillet 3, this guy, oops. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay. I gotta learn how to do those fillets a little bit quicker. I think there's a way you can select and then sort of select all, but I'm always afraid to get these extra fillets. Although maybe what we could do is select all edges and then deselect the ones that we don't want. In any case, now we got our fillets, and I think the handle is pretty much looking good. I'll just do a quick check here. The volume I'm getting is 250017.46, just a little check along the way before we work on the rest of it. And now let's work on the rest of it. So I think the rest of it is basically just going to be a big giant revolve. So here's the shape. A line going out this way, line going down this way. There's some detailed work to do down here. You can see there's a little arc and then a line going down, but at a 3-degree angle. So here it's a little bit tricky. And then we want to go in and back up, and then over, and then a 4-degree angle, and then over, and then down, and then over, down, over, and then back up to the origin. So that's the closed contour that I'm going to be sketching, and then revolve that to create the bottom. So we'll do that in the front plane. Okay, we want to go all the way out to this little edge here, this point, right out to here. Okay, and then, like we said, we're going to go down, try to get roughly the proportion right, down, and then here is where it's tricky. So out, we're going to make an arc. We might have to do this arc a little bit later because actually, oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Wasn't doing the arc nicely there. Okay, and then we'll do point right here. We'll handle this by, whoops, I want to go back to a line. We'll handle this by just making the line go out at an angle so it's not locking to the vertical. And then coming in, and then up, and over at an angle, and then over, down a bunch. Over, down, over, and back up. All right, so let's actually, I think I'm going to lock these into place. So this should be a radius of 3. And this right here should be at an angle of 3 degrees. And we want this to be tangent. Okay, so just wanted to handle those little details before forgetting about them or so that they don't get out of control. Okay, let's set some of the big dimensions first. So we've got one from the origin down to, let's see, this part right here, this line. That's going to be 54. Okay, so that's 54. And then from this line down to this line is 94. Wow, almost, sorry, 97. 97. So that's coming from here and here. Just trying to get some of the big dimensions out of the way so that when we refine the little dimensions, it's not going to distort as much. All right, so now maybe we'll just go around this particular drawing and try to grab all of those dimensions. So we'll dimension this 12 from top to bottom here, and then 65 will be from here out to this line, from the center to this line, half of 65. This little bump 4, and then we'll see where we are from there. Okay, so basically from this point down to here is 12. Then from here to here is half of 65. And then this little line segment is 4. Okay, so I think that handles everything from this view. From this view, we've got a 25 height from here to here, and then 7 from here to here. Be careful not to go all the way out. It's just this width here. And then 12 from here to here, and then make sure to set the angle 4 degrees. Okay, so we're going to set up all those. Here down to here is 25. And actually, I'll just put that over here. Okay, and then 7 cross. And we already got the 97, so here to here is 12. Pushes things down a little bit. And then this angled from the vertical is 4 degrees. Remember, you can always just click on a line segment, click on one of its endpoints when you're in Smart Dimension, and then you can angle from any of the axes without creating a center line. Pretty convenient. Okay, so I think that handles all the dimensions coming off of this view. This view doesn't have anything, it's just a handle. And here we already took care of the R3, and I believe the 3 degrees as well. So now this view, we get some of the dimensions. Basically from the center line out to this edge right here, it looks like it's going to be half of 75. Although you have to be a little bit careful because it doesn't look like the 75 is pointing to the inner circle, which would be this edge. It's actually pointing to the outer one, which would be like right here. So from the center out to here, it's going to be half of 75. And then from the center to here, it's going to be half of 30. All right, let's dimension those two. Center to here is going to be 75 divided by 2. And then this dimension will be half of 30, which is 15. Okay, getting closer. We just have a little bit outside here to work on. And for that, it looks like we can go to this view. There's a little width of 3, which is the width of this space right here, which actually is the radius of the little arc that we drew, so that kind of makes sense. But yeah, so from there to there, it's going to be 3. Okay, so let's see here. We'll dimension from here to here. Oops. Make sure I'm grabbing this right here. Actually, I'm realizing that what we really need to do is lock this down over here. There we go. Okay, because we already dimensioned this part of it, and we already got that 3 width. Although I do have to say that the width of 3 is maybe slightly confusing because of this angle that we have going on here. So is it 3 from this line out to this point, or is it 3 from here out to here? Although that doesn't quite make sense either. So that's a little bit of a head scratcher. Let me see what happens when we go from this to here. Yeah, it's 3.48. So a little bit confusing there. But it looks like we are fully defined. We just didn't have this little corner locked in, which it should be. And so now we can do the revolve about this line. And now we're looking pretty good. All right. Let's just do a quick section view. So if we look at this section view, it's definitely matching this section view here. Looking very good. In fact, I did this I pulled it over into Inkscape and basically superimposed them, and it's looking pretty much exactly to dimension and everything. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and check our mass. We're getting, or sorry, our volume. We're getting 978,262.17 cubic millimeters, but the answer key says 949,489.4 cubic millimeters. So off by about 3%. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why. So again, if you got something that was closer to the answer key's volume, please let me know. But I feel like we followed the specifications. Seems to be pretty much in order. So hopefully this video helped. And thank you so much for watching. Take care and keep studying.